introducing our first speaker, and that is Jay Franco. Jay is an award-winning marketing strategist, speaker, and founder of FIMM, a content marketing and social media management firm supporting high-level service business owners. Jay was honored as the 2026 American Businesswoman of the Year by the American Businesswomen's Association, and currently serves as the 2025-2026 president of the Sci-Fair Express Network. Her academic credentials include a Master's of Communication Management from the University of Southern California Annenberg School, an MBA, and a bachelor's degree with a concentration in marketing. Known for her direct, grounded approach, Jay helps women turn lived experience into visibility, authority, and long-term opportunity. I would like to welcome Jay Franco to the stage. As soon as she gets her mic, put on her.
Got tangled a little bit.
It's all right. Welcome, Jay Franco.
Yeah.
Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning.
You are not experienced enough. You're too loud. No, honey, you're too young to lead. If you were to get pregnant, how could you possibly hold a leadership position? See, all of those things were said to me. To a point in my life that I started believing it. I was told over and over again, oh, not now. It's not your turn. You're too Mexican. We need white girl, Jay. All of those things. And I know that sometimes when we start listening to what everybody else tells us, we start actually believing it. But I can tell you something. I was wrong. I was so wrong to believe what the world wanted to say about me and believe about me rather than what I actually believed in myself and what I had in me all along. Did you know that women, by the time that you hit your 20s, when we have a confidence meter, right? And we have a confidence meter, and this meter is about this big. But by the time that we hit 20, we walk into the real world, ready to adult, ready to go to college, ready to get jobs, ready to do all of the things that we need to do, with only 25% of that meter full of confidence. How crazy is that? And that's not including childhood traumas or experiences that we've had that have been really traumatizing to our lives. That doesn't include that percent. Because if we add that into the mix, then we go into the real world, adulting, with even less confidence. Confidence is so important, and it's important to understand that when we allow what people say as people speak into our lives that is not congruent with what we truly believe inside of our heart, inside of our spirit, inside of our soul, that it can actually change your DNA. Did you know that? Wow. There was a really cool study around the pandemic, and it was going viral online in TikTok. For those of you that don't know, you just heard that I own a marketing agency. And I'm obsessed with content. And so during the pandemic, all we would do was just watch content. But there was this one really cool viral video that I paid attention to. And I was watching it, and I was like, wow, how cool. And I heard about this study before in the past, where there were golden pothos placed in the room, and there were two sets of tests. On the one side, you had golden pothos, where people would speak into the golden pothos and say, "You're so beautiful. you're so pretty. My, you look amazing today. On the other side, honey, you're not enough. You're so ugly, I don't even know why I bothered to even water you. And it's hilarious to see that. You're like, oh, it's so funny, it's such a funny video. But when you paid attention, the ones that were spoken to this way, they actually withered and died. I find myself I have a miniature Australian Shepherd. And I find myself saying, oh, Fifi, you're so cute. Oh, you're so cute. I love you, Fifi. You're the best little puppy in the world. But when she is sitting down, my best friend is here, and she knows because sometimes we'll be in the room together or on a call or on FaceTime, and that Fifi comes up to me and she just paws me right in the face. She decides to put her hands on my laptop, and I'm like, girl, you are too much. You're so much. You are way too much, Fifi. We walk outside. She decides to chase all the neighbors. She decides to bark at all the neighbors. I'm like, Fifi, why are you so loud? And I had to catch myself. And I realized that the same things that were spoken into my life, I was speaking into my puppy. It's crazy how also that it's not just takes root, but you also start speaking it yourself too. It becomes part of who you are. It becomes part of your belief system. And it starts manifesting by your words and your actions. Isn't that crazy? It takes root in us. It changes our identity. The more that you allow those negative self-thoughts to take control, because they're not just self-thoughts. They're thoughts that you've heard other people tell you, and all of a sudden they grasp a hold of your mind, and they start telling you who you are rather than you tell it who you are supposed to be. And it changes even your DNA. Studies show that it even changes the DNA inside of you. And if science is not enough to prove, because I can show you all the statistics, I can share with you all of the studies that show that that negative talk, whether it's self or someone, that you're allowing someone else and you're receiving that talk in you to change your life. I'm a woman of faith. The word says that do not be conformed by the patterns of this world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind. What patterns what negative talk, what words are you allowing that you're conforming to? What are those thoughts that you are allowing to change your mind? It's really interesting when you start studying like that neuroplasticity and all of that stuff, and how those words actually start changing your brain and your chemicals in your brain. It's so incredible to read that. So if science is not enough, you've also got the word telling you to not conform to those patterns of this world. It forces us to also believe false truths about ourselves and our identity. For a long time, I know it's a fancy title now. I get to represent businesswomen across America this year as the American Businesswoman. It was pretty funny when I got named that, and everybody comes up to me, and all of the past American women come up and say, don't get offended if someone calls you Miss America. And I'm like, huh? Because you're the Miss America businesswoman. And I'm like, okay, got it. But you would think that today, with this boldness, I have no problem being in a room. You would think, oh, she's got it all put together. Girl, I am still, right now, sweating under my armpits. My knees are knocking and shaking. And you would never know. But it's because we're still dealing with those things that have been spoken into our lives. It's changed our identity. I can tell you now that the woman that I was several years ago, someone who has consistently minimized herself to make others in the room feel comfortable, to also feel like, okay, well, I don't want to be too much because I've been told I'm too much. I mean, I am Mexican, I'm pretty loud, and I am a little much sometimes. But that's the thing, it's like I've kind of put myself in this place where, okay, don't be too much, Jay. And I couldn't be authentically myself. And so I allowed what everybody else said about me for it to become my personal belief. And so I minimized myself in rooms, in opportunities that I should have gone after. It also creates barriers to pursuing your goals. When you start allowing those thoughts to start telling you, you second guess yourself. Oh, maybe I shouldn't go out for that promotion. Maybe I shouldn't do this. Maybe I shouldn't do that. My sister's a lot older than I am. I know, go figure, right? And she's okay with being too much. And she works in corporate. And she's going out for a promotion. And she was sharing with me the other day. She goes, well, it is what it is, honey. This is what they get. I'm going to go in there and I'm going to tell them how it is. I'm like, okay, then you go for it, sister. And all I can do is support that because she's being herself. And the more that she's herself, ironically, the more they love her. And the more that she gets a raise. And I'm like, man, I should have learned that a lot sooner. This is my little sister. She's a few years younger than me. So that confidence that builds up by allowing yourself to just be you allows you to go boldly into rooms, into journeys, into situations that you never thought that you'd ever be in. I honestly, when I had, years ago, you asked me, did you ever think you'd be the American businesswoman? I'm like, yeah, right. There's no way. How? And mind you, I was still a bold person, but in my head, I allowed those beliefs to take control of my identity. What lies have you believed about yourself? It's time that we start bringing those lies up because I know it's hard to bring them up, but it's time to just cast them out completely and say, no, that's not who I am. And we have to be honest with ourselves, and we have to have times where we just pull all that stuff out and say, I'm not going to allow what has been spoken into my life, what I have been told all these times, to control my life anymore. Because it stops you from believing in who you really are. The Word of God says that we are fearfully and wonderfully made. That means that when you were born already wonderful. So how dare you allow what someone else has said about who your identity is for it to become your identity. I started surrounding myself with women that believed in me even before I even believed in myself. These women poured into me. They've often told me a lot for a lot of things. Things that I was like, yeah, I don't know if I could do that. But the thing is that they saw something in me before I even saw it in myself. And as women, we need to be that for other women. We need to stop competing, comparing. We need to stop shrinking. We need to stop telling women, it's not your turn yet, don't go yet, let me go first. And then you can go. We need to be the women that pour life, speak belief, because the more that we speak belief, the more that we start creating belonging. Belonging allows you to grow in a safe space. When we are those women that really pour into other women, you create safe spaces in our community. Incredible spaces where women can thrive, they can feel comfortable, they can feel vulnerable. I was speaking to a life coach just now, and she was talking about how her daughter was talking about, like, she's got to do all the housework as well. that as women, 80% of women are still doing all the housework and running a business and taking care of families and taking care of husbands. I know that I enable my husband quite a bit. But at the same time, my husband does take care of me very, very well. So I'm very grateful. So yes, I wake up in the morning and I hear the shower going. I'm like, okay, I think it's time for to get out, go get my coffee, go get what I need to do, get him ready, put his lotion on, because how dare he put lotion on his hands? He can't stand that. And I tell him, I say, I don't know what you're gonna do without me. But it's important for us to create those spaces of belonging. Spaces where us women who handle all of the things that we handle, even putting lotion on our husband in the morning after we shower, a place where we can rest with each other, a place where we can feel that we're supported, that our dreams, our goals, our aspirations are allowed to live. You're free to be yourself, to express yourself. How many of you guys have been with your best friend and you're just laughing and you're having the best time ever, and you can be like your dumb self, like crazy, dumb, when you look at that girl, you're like, what is she doing? No, that's a safe space. Craziness, 100%. And you leave your best friend, or you leave that person, and you leave 100% recharged, and you leave so fulfilled, so like, man, I'm walking on clouds here. And it's the best feeling in the world. And we need to start creating that for those women in this room that you may not know. Because you also don't know what that woman is also carrying on her back as her weight. We need to be those kind of women. Be free to express yourself. Free to use your talents and your gifts. We need to allow women to use their talents, because when we allow women to use their talents, they start feeling like they are an integral part of the community, that they're valuable. Everybody wants to be seen, heard, and feel valued, that they matter, that everything they do, they say, the little contribution, the gift, that talent, that it matters for other women. Whoa, don't know what happened there. But when that doesn't happen, yes, thank you. Right there, belong right, yeah. Perfect, let me see, there you go. When that doesn't happen, it shifts culture and it shifts everything in the room. I was once part of an organization, an association, where it was highly, highly competitive. You had to be the only mark in the room, the only insurance agent, the only realtor, the only everything. And that kind of culture, it was really toxic culture, hustle culture. Oh, you can't do that. You can't serve on the board because it's not your turn yet. It was really hard for me because I'm a woman who loves to give. How many of you guys love to serve and serve others? For those of you that have that in your heart, it's really hard when someone tells you, you can't do that yet. Or, not you yet, not now. Because you're doing it from your servant heart of leadership. And so when you can no longer do that, you feel stifled. You start, literally something inside of you starts dying off. It shifts the culture of the group. The whole entire group shifts when we become those kind of women. And not only that, but as women, we also carry the weight of our community. When it starts shifting the atmosphere in this room, guess what happens? All of you leave and you start shifting the culture in your community, in your homes. You start becoming those kind of people. And guess what happens? You don't thrive, you don't live, you don't grow, you don't build community, you don't have connection, you don't feel belonging, you lose your belief system. And you also start feeling a little unworthy. Imagine if this was what was breeding in this room. You'd feel like what you contribute to the group is not valued, and so you feel and you leave feeling unworthy. 1 in 3 women experience what people think is called imposter syndrome. And imposter syndrome is simply a feeling that you may not belong, and it's starting to manifest, that anxiety that starts feeling and festering in when you walk into a room and you're like, that's imposter syndrome. Or quite simply put, that need to want to belong. 1 in 3 women feel that they don't belong in their community. 33% of women skip networking for fear of not belonging. How many of you guys have been to an event before? You've been asked to come to an event or go to a chamber event. You're like, maybe next time. Let's be honest, raise your hand. I've done it too. I did it one time with one of my girlfriends, and she's like, hey, get your ticket to go to the chamber, not this chamber, another chamber in Houston. And I was like, I don't want to go. I don't want to go. I don't know anyone. Mind you, I don't know a whole lot of you here in Fort Bend, but I had that feeling where I just don't want to feel like I don't belong in the room. And much less at 7 in the morning and drive up there. Because if you know me, I don't talk to anyone before 10 a.m. The only person I talk to is, don't talk to me, don't call me, don't text me, don't nothing, you're not going to get anything from me. And so having to wake up, I wake up early, but having to wake up early, put on your game face, it takes a lot out of us. It does. And then having to show up, and then you're showing up to a room full of people, even worse, right? You're like, dang. But let me tell you that had I said no, I would have missed out on incredible opportunities to connect with the people that I connected with that day. I walked out with so many cards, so many connections, so many dates on my book, so many one-on-ones, partnering with Prosperity Bank and so many other people that I realized I need to stop fearing whether I belong, and I need to start just taking action in who I really am and what I believe that I am. Belonging anxiety manifests as imposter syndrome. And groups that promote diversity and offer to mentor each other, like the chamber, they actually grow faster, they thrive faster, and they see higher attendance in women. I'm the president of a league here in Houston, in Cyprus. We are the largest league in the nation. And the reason why is because we foster that belonging. Immediately as someone joins our association, we do everything we can to start helping them believe in themselves, create belonging culture, and having them become integrated into the association. And it's not because we're cool, we're fun. Yes, we are all of those great things. But it's because it starts with the culture here. And that's the culture that you should be really pursuing. A place where you can feel like you truly belong and you can be yourself. I want you to think about a moment that you probably didn't feel like you belonged. Where was it? What networking group? What meeting? What social gathering? And as you think about that, it's going to come up and you're going to start feeling uncomfortable, and those feelings are going to start feeling like a little weird because you felt that little, I don't belong here, that little anxiety. And I want you to pay attention to what was that shift in the room. Because it's important for you as women that you pay attention to those cues so that you can create a space for other women who may be actually feeling the same thing. You don't want to be the person that makes them feel excluded. You want to be the person that they want to stand next to because, man, when I leave her, I leave feeling so good. There it goes again. I promise I'm not doing anything crazy. When you are in rooms where you are allowed to believe, when you are empowered to believe in yourself, where it creates belonging for you, and women really empower you, you feel supported, you feel like you have so much support in the room. There's something that happens internally with us. And inside of us, it sparks a becoming. You start becoming the woman that you've always dreamed of, the woman that you've always wanted to be. It's okay, I got it. I'll remember my cue. So who do you want to become? What kind of woman do you want to become today? Think about it. Where is your becoming journey starting? When we believe, when we belong, and when we become, there's something magical that happens. We start becoming the person that we always said that we wanted to be. We start becoming the woman whose dreams feel like they're no longer dreams or feel like they're in the palm of your hands. You become a person that who you said you are. You start living in those footsteps. So I'd love to ask you a question. Do you believe in yourself? I don't hear you guys.
Yes.
Do you believe in yourself?
Yes.
Wait. Do you believe in yourself?
Yes.
Can you be that woman
Yes.
that opens the door for another woman?
Yes.
And do you want to be the woman that becomes all that you've ever thought you could be?
Yes.
Wait. Some of you guys are a little scared today. I don't know if you guys have had coffee. Wait. Let me tell you one more time. Do you want to become the woman that you always wanted to be?
Yes.
Yes, we do. Because when we do that, we grow communities better. We become the strength of our community. So I need you guys to say yes to all of it. All right, here we go. Women who cultivate strong networks, because you all just got a yes. You all said yes right now. That means you're committed to building strong networks here and at the chamber and in your community. We develop, it's statistically proven that those of us who are committed to the yeses that you just said, we build better communities. We achieve higher positions. We serve better. We lead better. There's a greater outcome for us. And also, when we build close networks like the one we have here in the room, I encourage you today that when you leave, try to go out of your way. Some of you are sitting with your friends, some of you are sitting with coworkers, some of you are sitting with people that you know in the community. Go out of your way to walk up to somebody who you don't know and build that relationship today. Go up to somebody and just say, "Hi, I'm so glad you're here. I'm so-and-so. What is your name?" Because that really helps to start breaking down that belonging anxiety. And the likelihood of success, it provides women opportunities and specialized advice for unique workplace barriers. So it tears all of those things down that we are always facing. So I've already asked who you want to become. We have already asked the 3 questions. And so today I want to just share with you a little bit before I finish. In the position that I'm in right now, to help other women believe in themselves and create belonging and helping other women become who they are. I would have never thought that that could be possible for me. I would have never thought that that was something that would happen in my life. There goes again. But and the reason why it's happened is because of women like you that have poured into me. Women that are out there in the community who see something in you, and instead of saying, I'm just going to leave her alone, or I'm going to compete with her, they decide to pour into you and say, no, baby girl, you've got this. You can do it too. When we believe in ourselves and in each other, we grow. When we belong to a sisterhood, we rise together. And when we become, we step into the leaders that we've always been meant to be. I want to encourage you today to believe in yourself, believe in your community, and believe in others. Belong stronger and become the woman that you've always dreamed of. Thank you so much.
All right, thank you, Jay. We feel inspired and encouraged by your words. And the word that I love that she used over and over again was belong. And that's what we wanted this room to feel like today, a place that you belong. And we are excited that you're here and hopefully making new connections and new friends that you can leave out of this space with today. We are getting ready to eat some lunch. I know we're all hitting that time of the day. So we're going to do this in a systematic fashion. We have a buffet set up over here with a line on each side.